the future home of Super Bowl 56. There's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Tonight, it's the AFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Tyler Bass to kick off for Buffalo.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Austin Eckler.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw here, Herbert. Flushed out right. Hunter Henry brings it in. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
The 38-yard line.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And that is incomplete here. Joe Reed, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
A 52-yard attempt.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this will remain a scoreless game. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup. brings up 2nd and 4 at their 40.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
The tackle.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now the first carry for Zach Moss. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
The ball carrier.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 38, Allen. Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Linval Joseph coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
3rd down. 3rd and 11.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. He's got some breathing room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
But that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard, 8-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 25-yard line. Now Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chargers 7, Bills nothing.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the give, this is Eckler. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 4-yard line.
It's going to be incomplete. Jerry Reed, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Well, the 2nd down throw on target. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. picked by Kenneth Murray, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
This pass finds its way to Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards that time.
First and 10.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
First and 10.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
From down at the 12, it's first and 10. Herbert now. As he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. A handoff, it's Eckler. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
6.
Going to throw on third down with Herbert. And it's caught. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Bills now with a first and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll drop here to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Allen. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
So far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up third and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and 10. Third down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
3
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes not get away.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, Eckler. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
It's now 3rd and 4.
A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. From the gun, Herbert on third down. Flush to his right. And it is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And this is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And it's 3rd and 5.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
No gain on the screen there, and second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Allen to throw once more. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Allen again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Allen going deep for Diggs. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick. And these guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Made the tackle. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 34-yard line.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Michael Batchley to kick off for the Chargers.
Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Taken about 7 yards deep, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Come to the line to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
First down.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
From the 5, 2nd and 4. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Bills get a bit closer. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here.
The Bills are...
They'll try to run it in with Singletary. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further.
Tyler Bass to kick off 4th.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. takes this about 5 yards deep. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
The ball carrier.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And 11 at the 43-yard line.
2nd and 11 now. It's Eckler again. A good burst there. Gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. From the 50, here's Herbert. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 34-yard line. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
4-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He's brought down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
2-yard gain.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Good.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
Singletary, the ball carrier.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
To throw, it's Allen. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Desmond King picks it. It's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a toss, running left, Eckler. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Once more, here's Eckler. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's 4th down.
Now Charger kicker Mike Badgley on 4th down, coming out to try the field goal. Badgley able to knock this one through, and that will extend their lead now up to 22. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Taken about 7 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
They're on the 25-yard line.
Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperate. Allen hit. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And these guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Eckler down to the 25. Number 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. This is a counter play. Eckler. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. Good gain there on first down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up first and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at second and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
The kick is good.
And he's got it up and through.
The score, Chargers 37, Bills 8.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kenneth Murray.
So many times we end the game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
Herbert on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 13-yard line.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Herbert on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they take a knee.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
Tonight's final
Their season ends here, a tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it.